What's going on, y'all? It's your boy GP, and you're rocking with me on the Aqua Method Podcast. And as always, you can follow me on Twitter, GrasshopperGP, Instagram, GrasshopperGP, both of which spelled normally, no special characters, numbers, emojis, underscores, anything crazy like that. It's GrasshopperGP, Instagram, and Twitter. Send me an email at GrasshopperGP@yahoo.com for the types of sponsorships, advertisements, questions, comments, all that good stuff. GrasshopperGP@yahoo.com is the place to do it. You are listening to this on Grasshopper GP Official. That's Grasshopper with 3 S's because when I made the account, I couldn't spell. Grasshopper GP Official with 3 S's is the YouTube account. Thank y'all for once again rocking with your boy GP on the AquaMethodPodcast. I wanted to do this with cameras. I had guests, but they flaked out on me, and that's what happened. But I mean, I understand. Like the people, these are my coworkers at the TV station I work at, and I wanted to have them on. But both of these dudes have families, they have children, and so exhaustion is to be expected. So I understand. It's all good. I ain't even mad. I ain't even mad me. But before I go on any further, before I forget, because I was about to forget, I want to give a shout out to a couple YouTube users. First of all, let me give a shout out to two British nerds. That's the number 2 British NERDZ. One of the guys sent me an email a long time ago, and I didn't notice it. And so shout out to them, and go check out their stuff. They're all the way in the UK, man. So shout out to everybody out there in the UK, in Europe, and in London, all that good stuff, man. So shout out to y'all, and hopefully keep promoting the comic book culture in the UK, man. Keep promoting the comic book culture, movie culture, all that good stuff in the UK. I'm sure it's nice and strong. I'm sure y'all got dope conventions over there. I hope to one day be able to go over there and check y'all out, man. I will. I'm gonna make a point to do that, and to check out the comic book culture and movie, video game, and television culture out there, man. I mean, I'm sure it's dope, but I'm sure it's like it's probably they got your own customs over there, and way y'all go about doing things over there. So I'm excited to go see that. So shout out to 2 British nerds. So check that stuff out, and big shout out to It's Fun Guy, ITSFUNNGUY. It's Fun Guy. I met him at Comic-Con a year ago. Very, very cool guy. And based on the interaction I had with him when I met him and what I've seen from him so far, he seems to be a very positive dude, just out there making stuff, filming and recording and editing stuff. So shout out to him. That's ITSFUNNGUY. Check his stuff out too. It's Fun Guy. I'm giving him a shout out because he always supports my stuff on Instagram, and he's a really cool dude, and I appreciate it. He ain't got to do nothing for me, but he always supports my stuff, and it means a lot to me. So thank you, man, and best wishes to you and to your account and all that good stuff, man. So keep up the good work, and keep the positive energy alive, man. Because that's what this is all about. This is all about positivity and art and creativity and expression and inspiration. So shout out to you. So check out It's Fun Guy one more time, ITSFUNNGUY. And but yeah, man, I wanted to do. I had Reggie. You've seen Reggie on the show before, and you've seen Pierce, old man Pierce. I wanted them on the show because the Nintendo Switch was coming out, and it came out today, and I wanted to talk to them about it because I know, because Reggie in particular is a really big video game fan. And video game culture is important to me, and I want to get Pierce's take on it because Pierce is old man Pierce, so Pierce is old, and I wanted to get his take on how far he's seen video games go, and and his from his childhood up to his age now, and I wanted to get our top 5 games and stuff like that, and our history with video games, the origins and stuff like that. I kind of touched upon it on the last episode with Megan. And my first video game console was the original Nintendo, but I was like a little baby. I was like maybe like 2 or 3 or something. My mama got it for me, and I didn't know how to use it, so it didn't get used. And she wound up giving it back to whoever store she bought it from. I'm pretty sure she bought it from Walmart. But I consider my genesis with my origins with video games is the Sega Genesis. Sonic. I had Sonic. I don't know. I don't think I ever had Sonic 1. I had Sonic 2. So Sonic 2 is one of my favorite video games of all time. And it had a bunch of games like that, Sonic and Knuckles with that, you flip up the little piece on the cartridge and you put Sonic and Knuckles into the game. No, you put the game into Sonic and Knuckles. You can play Knuckles in Sonic 2, I think Sonic 3 as well, or something like that. It was real dope. And I didn't know at the time there's other games you could put in there, and it would change the gameplay of them. But yeah, man. So the Sega Genesis was my starting point with video games, and I had the Genesis, I had the PlayStation, the original PlayStation. When I saw that came out, I had to have it. My mom got me that for Christmas one year. I'm pretty sure Christmas. I'm pretty sure that was a Christmas gift. And then from the PlayStation, your boy had the Cube, the GameCube, and from there Wii, Xbox 360, and I plan on getting the Switch. And I think that's it. I think that's it as far as my video game consoles and stuff like that. Because, game consoles are expensive. Now, my cousin Tristan, my cousin T-Man had all the consoles. Him and his brother Russ, those two had everything. So I didn't have to have the consoles myself because they had it. Because and I realized, I really didn't like. I wasn't a fan of the 64. They had the 64. I didn't really like it. I hated that controller, and that's not really a hot take there. I think that's pretty much. I think a lot of people feel that way. Like it was like a manta ray, a spaceship, and it was really cumbersome to hold in hand. And I remember Russ having a Game Gear. I thought the Game Gear was dope because this was a time when Game Boys was out and Game Boys was monochromatic, so you only had that green and gray, and it was only two colors. But the Game Gear had all the colors. But the thing about the Game Gear was you needed 6 AA batteries. So that thing was so you had to have like a tank of batteries just ready at on the ready, or and it made it so heavy, but Russ had a Game Gear, and I thought it was dope, and it was backlit, so it was bright. And Tristan had the Super Nintendo SNES, and played a lot of Super Mario on that thing, man. A lot of Super Mario, and we played this game called Brawl Brothers. That's a game that pretty much just, that's one of them games that you probably that youngsters don't know about. See, that's a testament to Sonic, to Mario, to all these iconic video game characters, your Zeldas, your Kirby's, all that, and all these characters that will live forever, that will stand the test of time. Brawl Brothers, there's a lot of characters that have disappeared, and Brawl Brothers is one of them games that absolutely disappeared. But I love that game because I think about my brother, I think about Tristan when I play it, and when I'm thinking about it, those good times. I would always pick this guy who had this electrical power. He would slam his fist in the ground and send a shockwave of electricity. And Tristan would always pick this ninja who would teleport, or he would disappear, or I don't know if it was just if it was meant to be he was just moving real fast, but he would pick this guy, and as an adult, I'm thinking that ninja was stupid because he was dressed in bright green and he had red sneakers and he had a katana, and what kind of ninja are you when you dress in neon green? But anyway, but yeah, so that's some of my origin stories of video games, man. And I wanted to get with Reggie and Pierce because it's a different different perspective, and it's interesting to get do you remember? Oh yeah, I remember that, and now I'm by myself, yapping to myself, yapping to y'all, and talking about my video games. But my top 5 video games of all time would have to be Metroid Prime is my favorite game of all time. That was a beautiful game for the GameCube, really expansive, and you play as Samus and you go to I think it was Talon 4. And Talon 4 had all these different areas you had to explore, and you had to backtrack because you didn't have the right weapons. Once you get the right weapons, you can go through a new area, and then you kept discovering, you kept building, you kept collecting the arsenal, and the enemies got harder and harder. So, the overall gameplay was fun, shooting up, enemies and stuff like that. But what made the game really, really fun to me was the exploration, because you had to scan things to learn what they were about. And that's the music. I mean, that's the beauty of video games and stuff like that. The depth to which they put all the lore and mythology. Like all this stuff is unnecessary. I don't need to know nothing about the inhabitants of Talon 4 and what happened to them. But once you start scanning stuff, you want to know what happened to these people and what happened prior, why the pirates are here, and what is Metroid Prime and all that stuff, and that's the beauty of storytelling in video games. And I think that's the best type of video games. I don't want a video game that's cut and dry. I want to explore and have to discover this thing and read more about it, and be more enthralled into the world that is built in the video games, man. So that's the type of games I like. But Metroid Prime is my number one. I had all three Metroids. I had, and I believe what it is, Prime, Corruption. What's the third one? Echoes. Why did I forget that, man? That's a dope ass title, Metroid 2 Echoes. I like that. Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. That was a good game. The only one I beat all the way though was Metroid Prime, man, and I couldn't figure out how to beat. I was at the last boss on Echoes. I couldn't figure out how to beat him. I looked it up, and by the time I actually looked it up, I had I got past that game, and Corruption, and I think I was on the final boss on Corruption too. But all three of those games were good. But Metroid Prime, I actually beat all the way. I didn't get 100% completion because you gotta scan everything, and I played the game like twice, and I thought I scanned everything, didn't scan everything. But yeah, I beat that final boss though, and but yeah, Metro Prime was my favorite game of all time. BioShock Infinite is a good game. I think that's in my top 5. Oh, and hold up, I can't believe I almost forgot. Between the Sony PlayStation and the GameCube, I had a Sega Dreamcast. Remember those Sega Dreamcast? Had the memory card that had its own screen, and it had this little D-pad, A and B button, so you could play with the memory card. I thought it was revolutionary. It was a really dope thing. The Dreamcast just failed, man. It was a shame, but that leads me to another one of my favorite video games of all time, Sonic Adventure. I was so excited to finally be playing that game. I thought it was a really good game, really fun. Could have did without Big the Cat's missions. Could have did without. Didn't really care for E102 Gamma. I didn't really care for his stages either. But it was really dope. And then Sonic, Super Sonic was in there. All that good stuff, man. So Sonic Adventure is in there. Grand Theft Auto 5 is another one of my favorite video games of all time. And I'm going to say, if I had to pick a Halo, because I really did, I used to love Halo. I used to play Halo a lot with my roommate. I'm going to say Halo 3. Halo 3 was the best of the Halos. And yeah. But yeah, Sonic Adventure was a great game, man. Sonic Adventure was a lot of fun. There was always camera issues with Sonic the Hedgehog games, but it is what it is. But it was still a fun game, and it was still a deep game with some dope story and a lot of exploration. I thought it was a really good game. So Sonic Adventure, BioShock, Metroid Prime, Grand Theft Auto 5, and Halo 3. Top 5 games. But the reason why I'm talking about video games is because the Nintendo Switch came out today, and I haven't been this excited about a video game console. And I can't remember the last time I was this excited, because it's so, when I remember when the announcement was made, I was at work. It was after hours. We had finished the broadcast and all that stuff, and it was me and Reggie, and Reggie had the computer on, waiting, because it was it was a timed event, so we was waiting to see what the Nintendo Switch was going to be. And we finally saw it. I'm like, this thing is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. So it's a console that you could take from being a standard home console to being a portable to being a tabletop console. You could take it, you could have it home, or you could have it on your table, and then you could take the little controllers out off the console, off the tablet, and play with it as like that. I mean, I don't know, like I can't, like, words can't describe how cool I think that is. You know, like that's brilliant engineering, like the creativity, like just coming up with this concept. I want to sit in that meeting. I want to know, like, the guy. I want to hear as the guy is pitching this thing. Like, okay, check this out. So it's a console, right? That is really a tablet, but you can take the tablet out of the console, and it's its own standalone thing. You see, and then it's got controllers on the side. But check this out. You can take the controllers off the side and use it like your standard, your standard controllers that you're used to, and do it like that. Or you can pass one of the controllers off to your friend, and now y'all both got controllers. You don't even need the two controllers. You can just use one. And then in each of the controllers, they have their own, like, little, they have their own engineering inside of them. Like, one controller has an NFC reader, the other controller has can take screenshots of what you're playing. I think it's beautiful. I think it's an amazing piece of machinery. I think it's dope. And because prior to this, like all other consoles, I mean, you'll hear a lot of scratching because your boy got a beard. But prior to this, all consoles were just increasing, the graphical output and the picture output and how many pixels can you cram and polygons and all that stuff. Outside of the graphical output, to me, they weren't making any significant innovations in terms of, like, that, just the gameplay. They replaced they replaced innovation for just cramming more stuff in. Like, you could, so this is not just a gaming console. You can turn it into your Netflix box or your Crackle box or whatever it is, or and like that's cool. That's all cool. You watch ESPN, you can watch video games and have your fantasy football tracker right here and all that good stuff. That's cool. That's all well and good, but the Nintendo Switch is just games, right? So it's just games, and the innovation of the hardware is focused solely on games. And, like, instead of cramming there's a bunch of auxiliary stuff, ancillary stuff into the boxes and saying and passing that off as innovation. They're actually innovating the console, and I think that's beautiful. I think that's awesome. Like, I think it's novel, and it's necessary. It's needed nowadays. I'm planning on getting one. I would like to get one. It's just that I don't know if I want to get one early, because I'm hearing things about the left Joy-Con controller is having trouble syncing with the console and stuff like that, and I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna wait until they figure that out before I get one. I mean, I do want to get one. I just want to play with one. I just want to see it. You know what I'm saying? I want to see it. It looks so cool. And I actually I held the box. I'm like, this is it? Like, like the actual box that came in, and like these things are really small and really light. But I don't know why. I just imagined it being bigger than it is. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I have never been this excited since, I think, the Xbox 360. I haven't been this excited. Like, this is a console I really want to have. And I plan on getting one. I'm just not gonna get it. I'm not gonna be the first person to get one. And, like, I don't understand. Like, I mean, like, you don't have to be the first one to get one. You don't like this whole notion of outside something that has, like, a really limited release, like the NES Classic. You don't have to sit outside and wait for hours to get this thing. Just get it when you get it. Like, I don't know. I was never that type of cat. And, like, people who line up for iPhones, like, they're not gonna not have an iPhone for you. I mean, you will have one eventually. You don't have to have it today. You can get it next week. You can get it tomorrow, unless outside of the people who are desperate for a telephone, I could dig it. But I mean, you don't get one eventually. I will get a Nintendo Switch, unless I keep reading stuff like the left Joy-Con or stuff like that, and that somebody, who, like, the IGN people, and people like that who gonna dissect this thing, tell me that it looks cool and it is innovative, but it's really a piece of shit. Don't get it. then I won't get it. But I do plan on getting one. I ain't got to get it today though. Um, but yeah, but Reggie got his today, and he said he's gonna bring it to work one day. I mean, he said we can't touch it, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't want y'all to touch my new beautiful machine neither. Because I mean, it's the only child in me. I'm an only child, and I just feel like I'm gonna let you borrow them, I'm gonna let you play with my toys, and when you break them, all I'm gonna get from you is a sorry, and that's not gonna be enough for me. So no, you can't play with my toys. So yeah, that's the Nintendo Switch, man. I'm excited, and I just want to see it. I want to touch it. I might just go to a GameStop because I'm sure they're gonna have a display. I just want to play with it just a little bit, and that sounded like a euphemism. But yeah, I'm excited about it. And I'm hearing like Reggie is a big fan of Zelda, and he keeps looking at reports about it being the best game, one of the best games ever made. I've never been a Zelda fan. I tried Zelda one time. I think it was on. I think my cousin had it, and I played it in my Game Boy, the original Game Boy. Like I said, the old monochromatic joint, and it was boring. I'm like, yo, like, all right, man, like, where's the action, man? Like, cause I mean, I want a 2D platformer. I want to jump, and I want to dodge enemies. I want to kill enemies and stuff like that, or a shooter game or something like that, man. Like, what is this role-playing adventure game? I'm not with it, man. This game is boring. I got a sword and I got a shield and I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, I was real young. But there are a lot of, but I mean, there's some diehard Zelda fans out there, and I mean, if it's as good as all these reports are making it out to be, then I'm gonna have to go check out Zelda Breath of the Wild or whatever it's called. But yeah, so that's the Nintendo Switch, man. Anyway, I want to talk about Logan, man. The movie Logan. I saw that the day before it came out, and it was really good. Logan was a fantastic movie. It is what comic book movies are supposed to be. It is what an X-Men movie is supposed to be. It's a fantastic movie. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna say slight spoiler alert. I'm not gonna tell you the enemy or the villain or give you any plot points or anything like that. But I'm gonna talk about Logan. So if you want to stop now, stop the podcast right now and go skip over to, I might do like 15 minutes on this. So, just pass it, just scroll that little timeline to about 15 minutes from now, and I'll be done with it. But Logan was a great movie. But it's loosely based on the comic book miniseries that came out years ago, Old Man Logan. And when I say loosely based, I mean not at all based, because the only connection Old Man Logan has with Logan the movie is the fact that Wolverine is in both of them. That's it. I mean, quite literally, that's the only connection Logan has with Old Man Logan, except he's old in the book and he's old in the movie. That's it. All the plot points that you liked from the book, you could forget all about that because it's not gonna be in the movie. So spoiler alert, nothing in Old Man Logan is in Logan the movie except for Wolverine himself. And I mean, of course, they couldn't do it because a lot of the characters that were in the Old Man Logan miniseries are tied up with the MCU universe, Marvel Studios, Marvel Television, Marvel Cinematic Universe branch of media. In the books, there's Hawkeye, the Hulk, and Spider-Man's granddaughter, something like that. And these are characters that can't be used in the movie realm because Fox owns the X-Men rights. Like it's Marvel Fox, there's the MCU, and there's Marvel Fox, and there's Marvel Sony, and Marvel Sony is pretty much part of the MCU now. So with Spider-Man joining the MCU and Civil War, and now with Homecoming coming out this year, but yeah, so a lot of key characters in the book could not be in the movie. So I was excited to see what direction it was going to go in the movie because of those characters not being in that. I mean, the primary villain, spoiler alert, in the book is the Hulk. You know, he's the main villain in the book, and since they can't use the Hulk in a Fox Marvel movie, I wanted to see what they was going to do with it. And of course, you know, X-23 wasn't in Old Man Logan the book, but she's in the movie, and I wanted to see what direction what they went with that. All that to say, you like if you like the book, if you like the book, that's cool. That has nothing to do with the movie. You can like the movie. Also, you can these two things are completely separate. The movie is good. The books are good. Good. Old Man Logan is a comic book series that's currently going right now. The original Old Man Logan was a mini series way back when, but now they brought Old Man Logan back as a book, obviously to market to get some play off of the movie that's coming out. But those books obviously also don't have anything to do with the movie that's out right now. But anyway, in the current comic book continuation of Old Man Logan is not as good as the miniseries, but it's still pretty good. It's not bad. But the movie was fantastic. The relationship between Logan, Wolverine, and Laura X-23 is a beautiful thing, and it was just I really want to express how good it is, but I feel like I'm gonna slip up and give spoilers, so I'm trying to hold back. But that's how X-Men. It is the best X-Men movie ever made, and of the 10 X-Men universe movies, it is the best. And it's really sad to see Hugh Jackman go, man. Hugh Jackman, and you realize, like, yo, you've been doing this for 17 years. Wow, man, you've been doing this for 17 years. I remember watching X-Men in theaters. Like, I feel like that wasn't that long ago, but I guess I was 12 when that movie came out, man. Finally, man, like, and that was the genesis. That was the spark of all these superhero movies. The reason there's a Marvel Cinematic Universe, the reason that Fantastic Four got made and rebooted, and Spider-Man got made. The reason all these things exist, if not directly, but in part, is because of X-Men being a success and being good. X-Men was good. The first X-Men was good. And it was in that moment. It was when that movie was made. It was when you had to realize, like, there's the books, there's the movies. These characters are the same or similar, but they are not. They don't have to exactly be one and one. They don't have to be binary. They don't have to be the exact same thing. Like, the movie universe and the comic book universe will not and cannot, because of creative reasons, legal reasons, what have you. They cannot be the same thing. They cannot be the exact same thing. The movies will draw elements and cherry pick things from the books, be it the X-Men universe, the previous Spider-Man universes, or the MCU. They're gonna pick and pull and cherry pick elements, but they're gonna form their own universe. They're gonna form their own stories, their own mythos, and that's just fine. Because the problem a lot of people had with X-Men 1 was that it wasn't a mirror representation of what was going on in the book. So, but X-Men 1 is a good movie. The best one prior to Logan was X2, in my opinion. And then they got the First Classes, and I think the first class was good, and then Days of Future Past was okay, and Apocalypse was straight booty. But Logan is number one. If I had to rank out of the 10 of them, the top 3 of them is Logan, X2, and then X-Men, the first one. But it was a great movie, and it was a swan song, and it was beautifully made. If this is the last time you're gonna see Wolverine, if this is the last time you're gonna see Logan as Wolverine, this is the way to do it. This is how you go out. You go out with a home run, out of the park. You know what I mean? And it was really, really good. But not perfect. If I had to give it, I would give it an A. If the best thing I can give it is an A+, then I'd give it an A. There's a few things that I didn't like. There's a character called Caliban. Comic book fans know Caliban. he was also in the last X-Men movie, X-Men Apocalypse. But Caliban's in Logan, and they don't really delve into why he's with Charles Xavier and Wolverine, how they formed this relationship, how did they get in each other's company. So he's pretty much just there for as a plot device. He's only there because the story will in the future dictate that he's a necessity. Um, and I would have liked more bonding between Logan and X-23, but it was a beautiful story. I really liked it, and it was really really nice, man. Really well done, and it goes to show you, and Logan as well as Deadpool goes to show you that these comic book movies, be it X-Men universe, Marvel Cinematic Universe, DC Extended Universe, all these comic book movies need to be, or they should be, rated R. They're for adults. They're for us. I mean, I know, like, they got bright colors and they got bright costumes, and you want to sell these toys, and you want to get these, sell these poo-poo video games or whatever you have. You want to sell, the party mask and birthday cakes and stuff like that for these little children. I understand that. That's cool. You can still sell Wolverine toys, and it was rated R. These movies would be better served if they was rated R. If you could see blood and cussing and killing, But I understand why they're not PG-13. And again, I love these Marvel Cinematic Universes, the MCU movies. I love them. Civil War was the best, my favorite movie of 2016. And they're doing a lot of beautiful things. But imagine if Civil War was rated R. Imagine it. I think it'd be dope. Imagine if Incredible Hulk was rated R. If a rated R Black Widow movie, that'd be kind of dope, right? A spy movie, Black Widow, and Hawkeye, and Winter Soldier maybe doing some things out in Russia. That'd be kind of dope, man. That'd be a good movie. But these movies should be rated R because they're comic books are not just for kids. I never believed that because I'm an adult and I love comic books. But these when you realize that these were made by adults, these people are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, making these things, man, and they're making them for people in their their late 20s, 30s. I mean, kids could enjoy them too, but they're not necessarily just for kids. And that's why the Netflix branch of the MCU is doing so well, because they have adult situations. They have the Punisher killing everybody. Luke Cage, is sleeping with every woman. And, they dealing with adult situations in Jessica Jones, Daredevil, and I'm sure they're going to be doing the same thing in Iron Fist. But, and that's not for kids, man. And that's why they work so well. And I think, and they touch on some adult situations in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a little bit, but I would like more adult situations in the MCU, because I think they would be even better. I mean, again, it don't matter. I'm gonna watch them, but just don't dumb it down. Trying to get more kid dollars. But I don't know, like a surefire way to ensure higher, more box office receipts is to make it PG-13, because it's kiddie enough for the under 13 crowd, and it's adult enough for the over 13 crowd. But making Logan rated R gave Logan license to do a lot of cool things, man, that hopefully you go see. Because if you love comic book movies, if you love X-Men movies, if you love Marvel movies, you gotta go see Logan, man. You won't be disappointed. You will enjoy it. You'll love it. I'm excited to go talk to Mr. Jeff, aka Cap, who you've heard me record with him a lot. He runs a comic book shop down here, and he hates any movie, any comic book movie that is not made by Marvel Studios, because Marvel Studios has been in his opinion, has been truer to the source material than the X-Men universe, the two Spider-Mans, the Sony Spider-Mans, and all the other movies that came out, and and he abhors the DCEU. I really do think he would like Old Man Logan if he can remove himself from his prejudices and the prejudices, and just go to this movie with an open mind, be like, yo, it's not gonna be like the book at all, and just enjoy it. I think he'll like it. I really do. And he's the most staunch critic of any movie of comic book movies that I know. So I think he will. If he can like it, then I'm certain that you will like it. Again, you don't even have to like comic book movies. You don't even have to know who Wolverine is. You don't have to know about mutants. I mean, it would help to know a little bit about him, because if you don't know anything about mutants and Wolverine, you'd be like, why does this guy have metal knives coming out of his fist? But even if you didn't know anything about Wolverine, X-Men, mutants, anything prior, the books or the movies, anything like that, you will absolutely enjoy this movie. So check out Logan. Very dope movie. One of my favorite movies of 2017 so far. And I gotta tell you, man, we was looking at movies that are coming out, that have came out and are coming out, between now and like July, and that's not a lot of things I'm interested in, man. Like, it's a shame, man. It's a really dry time. It's a really dry time, man. I've never felt this dry when it came to when it comes to movies. Like, I feel like by this time I would have seen a bunch of movies by now. I've seen Live by Night, which was not as good as I thought it'd be. I saw Founder, which was really good. I saw Triple X, the third Triple X movie. That was pretty good. It was a lot of fun. It was absurd. A lot of the situations was just plain silly, but it was a good fun movie. I saw Gold, which was boring. I saw The Space Between Us, which was really nice, really sweet. That was a really sweet movie. And I saw Lego Batman, which was good, but not as good as I thought it'd be, and Logan, and that's it. And we got King Kong coming out in a week, and Power Rangers coming out in I think 2 weeks, and then Ghost in the Shell after that. And I'm kind of excited about. I'm not really excited about Kong, but I'm gonna check it out. And I am excited about Power Rangers because that's my generation. Growing up as a kid in the '90s, Power Rangers was that thing, man. Power Rangers was the thing for the little boys, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wanted to be a Power Ranger, man. Power Rangers was dope. Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles put a lot of boys in karate class. I'm gonna tell you that right now. A lot of boys had karate because of Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles. And I was thinking, like, yo, if a burglar came to my house, I'm gonna fight him, because I'm gonna be a ninja, because I'm gonna go to karate class, and I'm gonna get my belt, and I'm gonna be a black belt, and and if there's a villain in my house, I'm gonna protect my mama, and I'm gonna kick their ass, and it's gonna be what it is. And I believe I got up to, I think I was a purple belt or orange belt, one of them. And that was it. And that was that, man. And that was that. And it wasn't because of they just took us out of karate, man. It was, I guess they just didn't feel like taking us no more. Because I don't think I complained about karate. I like karate. But anyway, but yeah, the Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles made a lot of kids wanted to kick and punch. And Three Ninjas too. Yeah, growing up as a kid in the late '80s, early '90s, man, there was a lot of ninja karate stuff that was just coming out, man. You wanted to be a warrior, man. You wanted to fight. You wanted to kick somebody in the face and do a backflip, But yeah, man. Oh, what else is going on? Oh, I wanted to talk about the Oscars snafu that happened, and that was kind of. I mean, mistakes happen, man. Let that go, man. I don't think it was anything, but the only thing I don't like about it is the fact that it takes away from Emma Stone and from Mahershala Ali and from Viola Davis, and because they, like, the fact that they achieved this accomplishment it gets overshadowed by the fact that they made this mistake. That's the only thing that is that's unfortunate to me. But other than that, it was just blown out of proportion. Mistakes happen. Mistakes get made everywhere. But but Mahershala Ali came into my consciousness in two different ways. Check this out. So the first thing I ever seen Mahershala in was in Predators, and he had like it's a terrible movie. So he had a bullshit part in it. That's the first thing I ever seen him in, and he played like this African guy, and the Predators, all these warriors are trapped on a predator planet, and the predators are trying to hunt them down. So it's up to them to try to figure out how to kill them, or are they going to fight each other, or are they going to stay together and fight these predators and stuff like that. That's the first thing I ever seen him in. But then he was in House of Cards as Remy, great, awesome TV show, and he has an awesome part in it. And then of course the MCU. He's a MCU alum, and he was Cornell Stokes, aka Cottonmouth, in Luke Cage, and no spoilers there. I'm not gonna say nothing, but so he's cool. He's a talented actor, great guy, great dude, an inspiration to to everybody who wants to get in that business. And but what hit me, man. So check this out. So the next day after the Oscars, go online and they start talking about Mahershala Ali, and I'm on Hip Hop DX, one of my favorite websites, and one of my, in my opinion, the best hip hop website on the web. Talks about how Mahershala was a part of the Hieroglyphics crew as a rapper. He was signed to Hieroglyphics as a performer, as a rapper. And I'm like, really? So I started clicking that, and I'm thinking to myself, he probably, he might have did a freestyle in front of him, maybe he hopped on a single here. He didn't have nothing major, because I think I thought I would have known that, if it was a big deal. So I look on that, and it says Prince Ali. I'm like, whoa, because when I was coming up in college, I was on iTunes just picking and cherry picking dope songs I hadn't heard about, stuff that you're not hearing on the radio, stuff like that, like old Wu-Tang and Army of the Pharaohs and Nujabes and Sign and stuff like that, and hieroglyphics and stuff like that, and Mobb Deep, underground deep cut hip hop stuff, stuff like that. And I was looking up Planet Asia. And Planet Asia was on a song by this guy called Prince Ali, called The Majors. And I'm like, this is a dope song. And so I started looking up more Prince Ali stuff, and I wound up downloading like 3 songs from iTunes from his album, Curbside Service. And that album came out in 2007. And I got Stay Chopped, War Wounds, and The Majors. And so 10 years later, 10 years from downloading this dope music that I got, I discovered that Prince Ali is Mahershala Ali. It's the same guy. Like my mind exploded in my head when I discovered that. And but what made it real crazy was listening to a Prince Ali song that I hadn't downloaded called The Path. And on The Path, Prince Ali says, "Cotton mouths can't spit it out." This album comes out in 2007. He says, "Cotton mouths can't spit it out." 10 years later, he becomes Cottonmouth, the character of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's crazy, and I bet a lot of money. I bet a lot of money that the people behind Luke Cage, behind the MCU, had no idea that Mahershala Ali is Prince Ali, and that Prince Ali had a song in which, and it was just one bar. And he says, "Cottonmouths can't spit it out, can't spit them out." I just thought that was insane. I thought that was real dope, man. Like the connections and the coincidences, and like, so these dope songs. And I can't, like, Stay Chopped is my favorite Mahershala Ali song. Mahershala Ali, Prince Ali, Stay Chopped, Keep the Do Rag Locked. That's really dope, man. So if you like Mahershala, check out House of Cards. Check out Luke Cage. Check out Moonlight, because that's the movie he got. I haven't seen it, but that's the movie he got his Oscar in. But check out Curbside Service, man. That's his album. I can't that's so dope, man. And it was a good album, but he didn't promote it because he was focusing on acting. So it'd be cool if he made another rap album, but don't expect it. So Mahershala Ali, if by some miracle you listening to this, man, do a live performance of Stay Chopped for your boy. That'll be dope, man. That'll be raw. Stay chopped, keep the dude rag lock, man. Real talk. But yeah, man, I think that's all I'm gonna spit out on this here podcast. But yeah, I really want to get, and I'm gonna get Pierce and Reggie on here, and going to talk about some video games and get their take on it. Cause by this, I'm recording this at I started recording at around 11 or so, and right now it is 12:03. I can almost guarantee that Reggie is still playing his Nintendo Switch, and he is playing Zelda right now. And it's really, really late when I'm recording this thing. So I'm going to get his take on it, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to get, and maybe he'll bring it along so I can have it on camera too. But yeah, man, I think that's everything I wanted to get off my chesticles. But yeah, so enough rambling from your boy GP. This has been the AquaMethodPodcast. As always, you can follow me on Twitter, GrasshopperGP, Instagram, GrasshopperGP, both of which spelled normally, no special characters, numbers, emojis, underscores, anything crazy like that. GrasshopperGP, Instagram, and Twitter. Send me an email at GrasshopperGP@yahoo.com for the types of sponsorships, advertisements, questions, comments, all that good stuff. GrasshopperGP@yahoo.com is the place to do it. You are listening to this and you're not watching this because there are no cameras, but you are listening to this on Grasshopper GP Official. That's Grasshopper with 3 S's, because when I made the account, I couldn't spell Grasshopper GP Official with 3 S's. Is the YouTube account. Thank y'all for once again rocking with your boy GP on the AquaMethodPodcast. Play the Switch. Go watch Logan. And y'all be good.